Hi, Jamie. Oh, Luke. Long time. Hi. Waiting for Arabella to join. Um, so let's give her a few minutes and then we'll get chatting about all things food. How you doing, Luke? Oh, hi, Sam. There we go. Got Arabella on. Hi, Carla. Yeah, you do. Your request. Hey, Nix. Oh, such great faces this morning. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, I think we're gonna get Bella on the line. How are you, Nix?
Hello.
Hello. How are you,
Hello.
babe?
Good, how are
Can you
you?
hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can't
all
see
good.
you though.
You can't see me.
No.
What do you
Um,
see?
a black screen.
A black screen.
Have you tried?
Whoever's on the call, can you guys see both of us? Nix, Sam,
I wonder
other
why.
Nix. Oh, I don't want to start the call again because everyone's on here now. Okay, they can see both of us, but you can't see me.
Yeah, I can't, but I can hear you and I can see your face in my mind.
Oh no. What do you think? Do you think we should just restart it quickly?
Shame, I don't mind. I'm happy to do it like this. It may pop on. Uh,
Maybe it will. Okay, well they can see both of us,
that's
so I
cool.
guess
I'm chatting to you, so it's fine.
we'll just have a little chat.
Yes.
Well, I can see you, and you're looking snug as a bug in a rug.
Thank you. Musenberg is cold this morning.
I mean, I thought our roof was gonna blow off.
Yeah, very windy at the moment.
Sure. Winter is here.
Yes,
What are
very
you
good this morning.
drinking?
I'm drinking organic rooibos and some mint just to, I feel like I need cooling down, but warming up at the same time.
Some freshening up.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, cool. So these are next. My babies. Our baby. Hey, Andy. Cool. Well, let's give it like 3 or so more minutes before we start with getting into the thick of things.
Okay, cool. Are you good this
Um,
morning?
yeah, all good this morning. I woke up early to do Mandisa's class with Shala,
Yeah.
and she has a tendency to really kick your butt first thing on a Monday morning. So that was good. And yeah, just setting up things for the week. Got some teaching some new classes, and yeah, it's pretty. We just came back from 4 days in Stilby, which was absolutely amazing. And it is like complete summer there. So I had 4 days of like running in the sun, lying in the sun, swimming in the river, and it was like,
Amazing.
oh, I was lying there and I almost started crying because I was like, this is like literally like this is what I'm a summer person.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah.
Winter is
But
not my first choice.
no, but grateful for the rain on the farm, I must say.
Yeah.
But also worried for, I'm always like, oh, all the people and the animals outside right now, like, not, does not a happy feeling, you know?
Yeah, totally, totally. But we can do what we can do and offer help where we can. I think it's
Mm, yeah,
to
no.
be aware of that.
Just be aware and just a heart full of gratitude, hey?
Yeah, totally, totally.
Well, while we wait for anyone else who wants to join, I was thinking if you'd like to just lead us through just a little 2 minute grounding breath practice, just kind of bring us into the space, and then we'll start.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
So, for all of those who are joining, if you can find a comfy position, either with your legs crossed or with both feet on the floor, if you would like to ground yourself this morning, place your palms facing down onto your thighs. And if you are feeling like you need some energy, face them up towards the ceiling and close your eyes. And begin to connect with your breath, elongating your inhales and drawing out those exhales. Taking a moment to take stock of where you are and to practice acceptance of this. Giving love to your body, sending love to those who need it most. And remembering that we are not here to chase perfection. We are here to practice acceptance, and through acceptance of how things are, you can find peace in these small moments. Send love to all the different parts of your body, the parts that you love, the parts that you dislike. Draw the sides of your mouth up into a smile. Taking one more deep breath in, all the way from the belly, up into the shoulders, drawing them up towards your ears, rolling back and down. Welcome to Monday morning. You may open your eyes.
Oh, thank you, babe. That was perfect. You can just talk to me all day. I'll stay here. Cool.
It's
Well, I
crazy.
think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Carry on.
Well, I think let's just start with you introducing yourself. I think actually most of the people on here do know you or us. But yeah, go ahead, introduce yourself. Got a cat walking across the screen.
So, my name is Arabella, and I am a plant-based chef and health coach based in Cape Town. My brand is Eat to Thrive, and this was built around the idea that food is medicine, and we have been very ill-informed about food and never really looked to it to heal us. We always tend to look to solve problems rather than prevent them. And I'm an advocate for plant-fueled life. And I was a private chef, which has turned to virtual chef, and did lots of plant-based cooking classes, lots of integrative health coaching programs, and menu development for restaurants, and retreats around the world. So that is kind of where I was, and now I'm doing virtual cooking classes, continuing with the virtual health coaching sessions, and doing content creation and recipe development. So that is me in a nutshell. Very cool to
Amazing.
be here with you.
Yeah, thanks for making the time. I think you and I were chatting about it that, being in a time of questioning a lot of things, I think the way we consume and what we consume, how we're buying it, where we're buying it, how we're disposing of it, is really questions that you can bring into your life right now.
Yeah, totally. And I
So,
think yeah, it's especially in a time like this, you have so much time to become aware of all your habits and how you are consuming and what you are spending your time on. And so it's a beautiful time to actually to take stock and check in and see how we can adapt the things that are already habits in our life and making them more aligned with how we'd like to move forward.
so what would your 2 fundamental health habits be if you had to pick 2? I mean, I'm sure you've got a lot.
I do have quite a few. I don't get to do them all at the same time, but I would say in general, a mor sorry, Frank, a morning routine is definitely the thing that keeps me going, and that consistency of waking up every single day and doing my meditation and doing journaling and taking that time to kind of wake up and give myself space to wake up rather than getting bombarded with the world as you roll out of bed. But I mean, these things are, these are health habits in terms of calming the mind. The journaling is clearing the mind. Meditation is slowing everything down and practicing gratitude. And doing a little morning flow, having a warm drink to get the digestion going. It's these little, very consistent, small habits that I find are the foundation to my health, rather than these big, aha things that kind of people expect you need to have for things to turn around. It's those very small, consistent things each day.
Amazing. So I'm going to draw even more out of you because I asked for 2 things and you said the one was morning routine. So I'm going to ask you for one more.
Okay, then I would say the other thing is also part of the morning routine. It's an Ayurvedic routine, and it's tongue scraping. And tongue scraping is amazing. It's almost more addictive than flossing your teeth, because through using a tongue scraper every single day, it's checking in and being able to be aware of what your digestion's doing. If you look at your tongue as the doormat to your digestive system, everything that goes in, you're going to be able to see what it's doing inside through looking at what's happening on your tongue. So tongue scraping is, if you have any digestive problems, it's an amazing way to start, because you can do that and start drawing parallels with what you've eaten, how you're feeling. It just creates more of an awareness around the things that maybe your body isn't enjoying as much as you think.
That's amazing. I think I'm going to steal that your tongue is the doormat to your digestive system. I haven't heard that before. And it's absolutely true. And when you sleep, you actually, you're detoxing in certain parts of your body, and your tongue is one of the places that kind of detoxes overnight. So
Yeah.
waking up in the morning, with really bad breath is a very clear indicator that, you're potentially acidic, or there's, toxicity going on. So, absolutely. And it's so funny because I speak about tongue scraping a lot. And I had Tamsin on for an interview, and she was like, scrape your tongue every day. Like, and it's interesting because what Tamsin said, part of her morning routine is waking up, scraping tongue, brushing your teeth, because your mouth, is the first place where your food enters, but it's also where you create your speech and your words. And to keep this area really, fresh and clean, and paying attention to it.
That's amazing. I like that. Yeah. And also, I guess if you wanted to dive even further into that, you could scrape the tongue, oil pull, which is then like the next step before the brushing of the teeth. So it's drawing out, so the tongue is clearing the toxins and allowing you to see if your body is liking something or not. And then oil pulling, so putting a bit of coconut oil in your mouth, swirling that around. You can do it for 5 to 15 minutes. And that is then, if you think about oil, the quality of oil, it's drawing out all the impurities. So that's another cleanse before and then brushing your teeth, which is such a beautiful thing that she said, that's where your voice is. So clean everything around that, and it's going to be clearer and easier to
Yeah,
easier
I
to
mean, you can go
care
into like
for true pleasure.
a half an hour clean your
I
teeth
know.
routine in the mornings. So kind of touching on what we just spoke about, but being a little more specific to isolation and how that's been for you. Like, if has there been specific habits or routines that you felt more drawn to now that you've been in isolation, or things that you felt you can let go a little bit, just a little bit of insight of how isolation has maybe influenced or not influenced the way you usually run your routines.
So two things. The first, in terms of food, I have never felt as good because eating every single meal cooked at home, although it is exhausting at times, is amazing because the consistency of my meals, a lot of my life before was running around, so it would kind of be quite inconsistent. You'd grab something on the go, and being able to take time and pour that energy into 3 meals a day has been really incredible, and I feel like my body has loved every second of that. And it's a shift in mindset because we have to dedicate more time to cooking, but the reward, I always like to say, it may seem hard to dedicate that time, but all the energy you pour into that meal, you're going to then
Comes back.
reabsorb back
Yeah.
into your body. And then the second thing is I tried to keep to the concept of, if I was feeling low, which we've all gone through, and it's a constant thing in this new time, but if I'm feeling low, to just quieten, take time, meditate, read, look after myself, sleep early, that kind of thing. And when I feel positive, to then give, share, inspire, radiate, but just to be more aware of when that energy exchange is out of kilter, so that you're aligning to your energy rather than feeling like you should be one way when you're actually feeling the opposite.
So, talking about your cooking, I know this is probably a question that you get a lot, but just I can kind of see you like all cozy in your apartment behind the stove, like 8 hours a day. Um, what would and you and I chatted about this the other day as well, without having to go to a health store or wellness warehouse or an organic farm or whatever, for the average person who might not have all of those resources, what would a balanced meal look like? And or um, what are your health tips on creating a balanced meal like that?
So, firstly, in Ayurveda, anything that has all the different tastes or all the different textures, that constitutes as a very holistic meal. Because if you think about the modern diet, we have a very salty dish, a salty pasta, and then all of a sudden we crave like a really crunchy sweet biscuit or something like that. So if you have all the textures and flavor profiles in a dish, and this doesn't have to be complicated, it's like adding a seed on top of a salad, adding a cooked vegetable to give that soft texture, adding a cooling herb, things, you just trying to incorporate more variation into your flavor profile and into the textures. And through doing that, you don't then have the craving after your meal. So if you have something, if, for example, you make a soup, you can add toasted seeds on top. You can fry some cauliflower to put on top of your cauliflower, where you've got the crunch, you've got the smoothness. So you're just making it a more well-rounded dish. That I think is a huge thing. And also, the more colorful your meal, the more nutritious it's going to be. That is a really good guideline to use. I like to say you must just eat the rainbow, and the more colors in the rainbow you have on your plate, the more nutritious it's going to be. And then also, food does not have to be complicated. We do not have to be getting everything from health stores and from you don't have to be filling everything with superfoods. Obviously, that's an amazing thing to do, and it's a blessing to be able to have those things. But there was recently a study done to kind of align a planetary diet, aligning it with the climate goals. And also, I'm not here to advocate everyone needs to be vegan, everyone needs to be paleo, everybody has different bodies, but it's more looking at the ratio of things on your plate. So you want to have some protein, a lot of vegetables, some whole grains, nuts and seeds. So it's more about having lots of little bits and bobs that you can make into a meal rather than focusing on like the vegetable, the big animal protein, and the carbohydrates. Um, it's just adjusting that way of looking at your food because we've been told one thing for a very long time, and it's about being intuitive and just having, I always say, have a stocked pantry because then you can make any meal beautiful.
Amazing. And I guess that, that it's such great advice because I think often you feel, oh my word, like I have to buy this like bag of nuts, and obviously nuts are quite expensive in South Africa, but potentially that bag of nuts lasts you through, 3, 4, 5 meals. And
Exactly.
um, what's the saying about you could survive on 3 almonds a day?
Yeah.
So just, using a bunch of things, but little bits at a time, and making sure, if I imagine now what you were saying with the cauliflower soup, is that you can cauliflower 4 ways and put it all together as a dish, and you'll get 4 different kind of flavor profiles in there in a sense.
Exactly. And I think it's also important just to be, you see it as an investment. If you go to Atlas Trading, just saying, these people are amazing and they have everything and it is wholesale prices, and you go and treat yourself. You spend $500 at Atlas, you put everything into jars and you've got your kitchen set. You will not have to do that for another month and a half. So it's like just adjusting the mindset of instead of going to Woolworths to buy your nuts, seeds, grains, vegetables, meat, you go to one shop for your dry goods. You order a veggie box that gets delivered every week, so you're aligned with seasonal produce. And then if you need, you get a condiment or two. But otherwise, you realize that you can see where majority of your money is going. And if it's going to the dry produce and the fruits and vegetables, you only need a couple of things going to the supermarket. So I like to say it's like decentralizing your shopping experience.
I mean, that's amazing. That actually leads me on to my next question. I think, well, I feel that, and it's not a new thing. I think it's been coming along, but what's happened now is with the whole Corona thing is our convenience has been taken away from us.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So it's very convenient to pop down to one store where you can get all your goods. And I don't know if you saw, but there's a Spar, I think it was in Mossel Bay, where they actually took off certain kind of mass produced or produced items, and they let local suppliers fill those spots on the shelves
That's
instead,
amazing.
which is like, oh, can you keep it that way?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the question I have is, where should people be shopping right now? And like, what would your top shopping guidelines be? Because I know a lot of people on the call are actually from Cape Town. So if you could drop a few names, then that would be great.
So I would always start with Atlas Trading. They also they deliver if you like. I think they're still doing it, but also if you phone ahead, you have to be organized with this kind of stuff. In the beginning, it takes more energy. It's the same as like recycling, obviously, is more effort than not recycling. But once you get the system going, you just adjust to that mindset and then it flows. So Atlas, you can also phone ahead. They can package your stuff into brown paper bags. So you're getting rid of the packaging on that side, or some of it. Then there are lots of people doing fresh veggie boxes. I mean, in Muizenberg, well, it's wider than Muizenberg, but I'm doing Wild Organics. There's Faithful to Nature's doing really lovely fresh produce boxes. You Cook is doing it. That's more high end, but they have amazing products. There is the Granadilla boys. So it's called Granadilla Eats. They were doing the boardies and the swimwear, and so they've turned to delivering fresh veggie boxes
Oh,
too.
wow.
So it's, yeah, and they did that in such a quick turnaround. They changed their whole business model and they just went straight for food distribution, which was so cool to see. And through doing this, it's amazing because you're supporting small businesses who are then trying to keep our farmers going. So through doing that, you're just decentralizing the Woolies and the Spar and the Checkers, they'll all be fine. But we need to keep the farmers going at this point. And also through doing that, it's like getting this amazing mystery box every week. And you have to be like, okay, cool, I was given 12 sweet potatoes. Now I need to make a million different things with sweet potatoes. Or you can see what's in season. So it's moving away from this mentality that everything is available at all times, because we've lost our alignment with the seasonal produce and the local produce. I mean, I love what you were saying about them prioritizing local products. That should be a thing. Um, and then what else? Yeah, and then I've been using Faithful to Nature for any kind of more bespoke or more health focused products online. They have amazing packaging, they're super efficient, and that brand is just, it's a really, really lovely business to support. So that's what I I think those are the tips for the shopping.
Thank you. Yeah, and I know Faithful to Nature also has really great natural cleaning agents.
Oh, yes, yeah. Amazing natural products ranging from the skincare to the kitchen, household products, and uh, all the treats for the body as well.
All the treats for the body home and the home home.
Exactly.
And then I just actually wanted to touch on you kind of, this is a bit off topic, but it does interest me, is how you manage your recycling in Cape Town, and how do you even, who does it and how do you do it and what?
So, I mean, I lived in Sea Point for a while. That was really nice because they have a recycling depot over there. I mean, it's hard, a lot of the complexes, when they have a recycling system up and running, it is so great. But I used to literally trek my recycling to the depot. There's one in Woodstock too. And we managed to get hold of a guy who started a little company here in the southern suburbs. So we kind of put the recycling, the cans, the glass, and the plastic in one clear bag, and he collects it every week. So we pay a little bit, and he collects it. And then the rest, we have like a huge eco bricking bin, which then if you're ever feeling frustrated, you just get a bottle and you wedge everything in there. And then we've got we've got an amazing little compost heap, communal compost heap in Muizenberg too. So we're trying to separate, and through doing that, it's so great because you can all of a sudden see, I'm now looking for someone who's selling bulk, beautiful local coffee, because I'm so over trying to like eco brick these really hard coffee bags into the bottles. So through separating everything, you can see, okay, how do you make that less? Or already just using the veggie boxes, there's no packaging in that. So also through decentralizing everything, you're having a lot less waste, which is really nice. And buying legumes in bulk, you're keeping them in jars. You don't have like can after can after can. So all of these take more effort, but I think like you said, we're very used to having convenience and instant gratification. If you put a bit more effort in, it'll be you're implementing sustainable habits, which is so much more rewarding.
I think it's, when you take a step back and you really look at your habits, and if we look at something like, like the chain stores, like the Pick and Pays and the Woolies and whatever, I mean, they obviously supply a lot of jobs, and there's always two sides to a coin, but it is that there is so much energy being pushed into these chain stores because everyone shops there. So if you take that energy and you put it into the smaller stores, you know, it takes a few people to really make a big difference. And actually knowing that, you know, I know the guy where I buy this, and he buys it from the farmer who he knows, and the farmer buys his seeds from the other dude, and it makes, to me, it makes your food so much more magical, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
Or anything, you know, I really try to support, you know, like local artists or people creating their own things, and you treasure it so much. I just bought it's super random, I've wanted one forever, but it's a pillowcase done by a woman here in Hermanus, and she started about 2 years ago, and she dyes, I think it's hemp fabric, but with fynbos.
Amazing.
And
Makes
I
such a beautiful
started
color.
I started by supporting her. I bought a tiny little zippy bag, because I mean, girls you can never have too many bags. So I bought a tiny
Never.
little zippy bag, and I've been dreaming of these cushions. And with this whole Corona thing, she's gone on this massive sale. And I was like, you know what? I don't honestly think I should be spending money on a pillowcase right now. But you know what? A, I will cherish it for the rest of my life. And B, I'm supporting small business.
Well, exactly. And you think about, I mean, this is also, you think about like money, people have a strange, well, there are lots of people that have strange relationships to money. It's like, if you look at money as an energy exchange, you're so much more intentional about where you're pouring it into, you know? And it's like, you're, not only are you being accountable for where you're pouring your energy into, but you're also making the people that are producing things accountable, because you're going, okay, cool, where did you get your produce from? Who are these farmers? Are they, you know, looked after? Blah, 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 all of these things. And through doing that, you're creating these beautiful chains of energy exchange. And then being able to go, okay, the reason why I want to make money is so that I can distribute it to these places that feel aligned with what I feel people should be doing or deserve to have. But if we are just like robots, kind of like getting everything from one big company, yes, they're creating a lot of jobs, but I think it's so valuable to be like, well, if we spread that energy, we're creating a lot of little ecosystems. You know, you're creating a lot of threads in one ecosystem rather than it all going from all these people just to one central company. And it's the same concept, you know, there's a lot of, you know, organic produce is expensive, obviously, because they're not using pesticides. It takes a lot more to keep the produce going, and it's still niche in our country. So the more people who pour energy into organic produce, the people who can and who have the choice, the cheaper it's going to get. But you need that initial exchange of energy before the prices drop and before you can make it accessible, because it's supply and demand.
Yeah, and like you said, like, you know, little bits at a time, you know, maybe you don't switch to going, okay, now I'm only going to shop at Atlas, and I'm only going to shop from these people, and I'm only, you know, start with, you know, just getting your dry goods from Atlas, and then go get the rest
Exactly.
of your veggies and stuff at Pick and Pay if that works, or whatever it is. But I think sometimes you think you need to make a big difference to make a difference, but it actually, and it's the same in your yoga practice. Doing 1-2 hour practice a week is not going to create the change and shift within yourself that a 15-minute practice 7 days a week will have.
Yeah. And that's exactly you know, the health coaching side is people almost imagine this like big hoo-ha change to happen and everything aligns and everything is what they wanted it to be. But it's these tiny incremental changes that you do, and you build one good habit, and then you build onto that, and you build onto that. And there's a beautiful TED Talks about bees, and how every single bee, I think, makes like 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in their life. These tiny little things working so hard. And if you ever feel like you can't make a difference, think about the bee mentality. It's like it only works because all of them are doing the 1/12 of a teaspoon. And it's, you know, there's a beautiful quote that's like, what difference will what my plastic straw make, said 7 billion people? And it's those tiny little changes that grow to make a bigger change. It's not all up to you, you know, but if everyone starts implementing slowly, that's when the industry shift.
That literally leads me, and I'm almost sure you've answered the question, but I'm sure you might have something extra to add on. Is that what well, learning about food, how has that changed your life? The more you learn about food, what's the biggest change that you can kind of share with us?
So I think the biggest thing that it's done for me is to realize that food is the center of our healing. The food is, I mean, food is the most connection we have to the earth. It's the most connection we have to ourselves. It's the most active thing you do each day to either nourish yourself or hurt yourself. And I know there's a huge amount of misinformation. You know, the science around nutrition is changing by the minute. And so it's understandable that people have been confused. You know, I have been one of those people for a very long time. But to realize that food is medicine, and through finding Ayurveda, that's when I really discovered that, you know, food can be preventative. Food can prevent inflammation, which is diabetes and obesity and arthritis, and all of these things stem from the same thing, which can be prevented by the food that we eat. And to look at, you know, I did a post about this the other day, is like we talk about this, when you're feeling low, you want to like treat yourself, and you don't realize that those treats are the exact things that are making you feel so horrible.
Yeah.
So it's changing that mentality to be like, if I eat a really solid breakfast with good things in it, that's my medicine for the day. And there's an amazing quote that says, without proper diet, medicine is of no use, and with proper diet, medicine is unnecessary. And that's the foundation of Ayurveda. And our food choices are our active decisions each day to either help ourselves or send ourselves back.
So when are you creating a introduction to Ayurveda course?
It's a good question. When
We'll
I
wait
finish
for
my
that one.
cookbook.
I'm signing up. You know, I'm signing up for that.
I would really love to. Yeah, I've got a cookbook that's in my back pocket that's been there for a while, so I need to get that project out. And then I've got many other ideas of the next things to start. But
Yeah, just do Ayurveda for dummies, like a 2-hour workshop, and give us the
yeah,
basics.
yeah, that's a good idea. I think I should do that.
So just to close off, and I ask everyone this question when I have a chat with them, is if you could make one thing abundant in the world, what would it be?
Nutritious plant-based food.
No.
No, but seriously, there's like, it's the one thing that the whole world struggles with. It's like, or, okay, maybe education around nutrition. That is easier, because there is so much misinformation and people are so guided by big industries. Like the food industry doesn't care about our health, and the health industry doesn't care about the food that we eat. And so there's this like beautiful in between those two spaces, that if we could create awareness and create education around these problems, I mean, specifically in our country, majority of the population doesn't even know, that is not even aware of the stuff that they're eating, and that's causing all the problems, you know? So yeah, I think awareness and education around like democratizing nutrition, I think that would be my main aim.
That's
And
amazing.
kindness and smiles and hugs.
I love that. I love that. kindness and smiles and hugs and good food. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and I think also like going, you know, to education around things and so on. It's also just like, for me, it's like truth. Can there be,
Yeah.
you know, some truth around everything and actually finding, I guess everyone's truth is different for themselves, but I think there are a few truths that are hard truths that
Yeah.
I wish could be more clear.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
but babes, I see there's a few comments about the Ayurveda course. Did you see
I
them?
know, it needs to be done.
So you've got motivation, basic nutrition course. Oh, do you see the question?
Yeah. So I did a nutrition, it's not really a basic nutrition course, it's like a year.
So
But
Arabella's going to create a basic nutrition course for us and
I
a
will
basic
do it.
Ayurveda course.
Well, actually, if you're interested in doing a basic nutrition course, I offer health coaching programs, which is that pretty much. I become the funnel between the client and the health industry. And through going through this program, you learn specifically ways to make your body feel better, how to link symptoms and the food that you're eating, how to cook. There are cooking classes involved, there are mindfulness exercises involved, there are handouts to all the different ways of eating. You know, it's not, I'm not ever advocating for people to eat in one way. So it is a nice thing to have someone guide you through that process. Otherwise, it is very overwhelming. But that is the first step to a basic nutrition program, is doing my health coaching course. And through doing that, you come out very empowered with habits that are very sustainable. You know, I'm not ever trying to get people to depend on me. It's more to usher them forward so that they are empowered by the end of the program.
That's amazing
But
because I
yeah,
think that, you know, you don't expect your teacher or your coach or your guide to ever be perfect, but I
yeah,
think you do expect them to have done the work themselves.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I have done a lot of the work on,
So many
no,
hours of eating.
yeah, so many hours of healing. Still not there, but it's fine. That's not the point.
Thank you so much, babe. That was amazing. I
Oh,
really enjoyed that.
thank you. So lovely to connect and keep doing your thing. I'm
You
gonna
keep
come
doing
join
your
one of your
thing.
classes.
Yes, please do. And
Amazing.
yeah, if anyone wants to get hold of Arabella, she is Eat to Thrive. So you can check out her Instagram or her website. I'm just warning you, if you go onto her website, it's absolutely beautiful and it's going to make you want to sign up for a course like instantly. So invest in yourself. You will not regret it. And yeah, pop her any questions, pop me any questions, and love to everyone. Stay safe, stay warm. Thanks,
Happy
Bella. You're
Monday.
amazing.
Thank you. So lovely to see you, and we'll chat soon.
Chat soon.
Happy
Bye.
Monday. Bye.
Bye.